Welcome back to the channel here, guys. Abyss 1232. Got my tactical sport. As with all my firearms, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to disassemble this one so that if you choose to modify it or polish it, as I'm going to be doing, you can go ahead and do that as well. Or for whatever reason you should want to disassemble it. But I already removed the magazine. Go ahead and safety check it. It's all good to go. Go ahead and line up your takedown marks. As with all CZs, remove your magazine, release. Slide comes out. This is going to be the one chambered in 9mm. So after you remove your spring guide plug, it's guide rod, sorry, you're going to want to push your guide plug out. That's that piece. Your 40 Smith & Wesson won't have that. And then remove your 5.4 inch huge long barrel. Went ahead and cleaned this gun out before I did this video, so it shouldn't be too gunked up or too oily. But that's the top end. So go ahead and take your screwdriver, Phillips head, move your grips. Haven't decided what grips I'm going to be putting on this particular gun yet. These are just way too slippery for me. Since this does have a larger frame, it's just you need a lot more, at least I do, I need a lot more assistance on these sides to get a proper grip and consistent grip. So still deciding what I want to do there, but since I got that all pretty much taken down, what else you're going to need for this disassembly is a 3/32 punch, 1/16 punch. Actually, you're going to need two 3/32 punches. And what I have is just like this micro flat head screwdriver. Seems to work for me. But this is going to be one part where most people who take down these tactical sports have trouble with, is this mag well, just because it is kind of a pain in the butt. But you can do it two different ways. You can either start up at the top end and remove these parts, your sear cage assembly and your safeties, under pressure of the hammer spring, and then you can remove the mag well a lot easier, or you can do it the way I'm going to be showing you how to do it now, which is a little bit difficult, but I recommend doing this way because then you would have the pressure vice versa. So either way, get your 3/32 punch, and it is a little difficult to get this on camera, but take your second 3/32 punch, and what you're going to do is you're going to put that in the mag plug and put pressure on it until you feel it. There it is. Oh, I heard it. Until you feel or hear the pressure being relieved off of this pin. And what you're just going to do is push that through. So it takes just a little bit of finesse, a little bit of stability, and there. That'll remove your pin. That aside. And then what you do here is go ahead and take your 1/16 punch, push out your magazine brake out, and you can push that forward and push it to the side, and it should come out just like that. What that does is that actually holds this in place, so it creates just a little bit of pressure there that you don't need when you push this magazine well out. So again, take your 3/32 punch, put pressure back on that mag plug, and you should be able to push it in hard enough so that your magazine well slides back. Let's see. There we go. So now push it pretty hard. As you can see, it's holding my punch in place because there's so much pressure on it. But all you're going to do now, since you got it started, is go ahead and slowly slide it back. And since this is under a lot of pressure right now, put your hand underneath so that way you can catch it once it shoots out. There you go. So that's your mag plug, that's your hammer spring, and your stock magazine well. They do offer a larger size at czcustom.com, but I don't see much need for it, to tell you the truth, since this is already beveled out and you already have a magazine well included on this pistol. Just didn't find the need that much assistance to buy another part to replace this mag well, because this is pretty big already by itself. But so you have your magazine, or sorry, you have your hammer free of pressure, so we can start working up on this top end here. This is where this little tiny micro flathead's going to come in handy, because what you're going to do here, if it will focus, is get that right there. That's your sear spring, and you're going to want to just take that sear spring and pull it out of its position. So it was set right here. Just lift it up and lift it over. Now what you want to do, go ahead and start pulling your safety levers off. And you're going to need a nice little grip on these safeties to take them off. But just keep working them. Oops, sorry. And you should be able to pull them off if you just keep working them out. But keep on wiggling them out. Doesn't matter which one you're pulling, just because once you have that sear spring relieved of that notch, nothing's holding these levers in. So let me do that off camera for you, keep this video shorter. Okay, once I got a good grip on that left-sided lever, just pull that out, keep that aside, and your right-handed, or yeah, your right-sided lever should loosen out. You lift it up and it should come out, because that's how it's being retained by that D shape side. Pull your hammer back and you should be able to grab your sear cage assembly, and that's what that looks like with your sear down here. Well, it's on both sides, but this is going to be your sear right here, this entire piece. This is your sear spring, and this is your sear cage. Do have a couple springs on the back here. Keep tension on it when you put it back. Again, this is the underside. All you have is your sear, your sear spring, and then you got your ejector right up on top here. Let's see what you got inside here. Still have to worry about your safety detents. That's going to be this part right here. You do have to remove that in order to remove your hammer. So be careful, because it might be under tension. Just make sure you're holding that so it doesn't fly out. pop that off its location and just there, that should pop out. Again, don't lose that. And then on the other side, you don't have the same setup. You have just a detent unsprung, and that's what holds your D-style safety lever. And again, push that out of its position slowly so you don't lose it. And you can grab that, put that aside. That's going to allow you to do is push this pin up, gives you access to your hammer retaining pin, which you can only push from the right to the left. Like that. And that allows you to have access to your hammer and your hammer strut. Go ahead and grab something to brace your gun with. And since I'm going to be changing out this trigger, since it's a polymer trigger, and I don't care for it too much, just the way it feels, going to be replacing this with the flat style aluminum. But take your 3/32 punch, and let me see if I remember how to do this correctly, since this could possibly be staked. But let me see what I've got here. I'm going to try doing it from right to left and see what we get here. Yeah, that should be okay. Looks like it's coming out pretty easily. I actually haven't done this disassembly yet. So, see how we can get this pin out. Maybe I'll take a... Okay, well, I lied. Don't take your 3/32 punch, take your 1/16 punch. And that'll make it a lot easier to take out that trigger pin. And let me just be positive. You shouldn't have this under pressure. So you should just be able to hit that pin out without anything flying out on you. But we'll see what happens here in just a second. Okay. Yeah, I was right. Okay. So then, oops, that pin fell out, but I'll put that aside, that's fine. And then that gives you access to your trigger bar. Trigger bar, trigger spring right here, and your trigger. So that'll still be under pressure. But what else can you do here? You can go ahead and move your magazine screw, magazine release screw, that'll hold down your tension spring, but I'm actually not going to be polishing any of those areas in here, and I'm not going to be swapping out this magazine release, so I have no need to. But if you've seen other CZ takedowns, disassemblies, this screw, you need a lot of force to remove this screw. And actually mine's staked, so this one would be very troublesome screw to remove, but I'm not going to be removing it. I've done it on my other CZs and I've had a lot of trouble with that screw. Like I said, I'm not going to be changing out this magazine release because I love this magazine release, but if you should want to paint this or shave it down or modify this magazine release, that's when you would want to take out this screw. I have no need for that, but only other thing you can do at this point, guys, is to knock out your hammer to strut pin. And if you could see that, that's staked, as most of the time that is going to be staked. So again, if you've seen some of the other videos, you're going to want a starter punch to hammer that out. It's pretty much the only thing that I found that's sturdy enough to knock that pin out, not break under pressure. Again, a very heavy hammer. This little this is like a beginner's hammer and punch set. This is not going to do the job. You're going to need a very heavy hammer, maybe just a normal toolbox hammer to get that enough weight and punch that out. But I'm going to be keeping this. All I'm going to be doing to this hammer is polishing it out. But if you choose to change out the hammer, you need to take out that pin. And then this is your trigger bar, so single-sided only. But everything else is taken down on this gun, guys. So if you guys have any questions on how to take this down, feel free to hit me up on that. But the only other thing right here, this is pretty easy here, guys. If I can find my punch. This is taking down the top end. And the only thing I didn't do was take out this firing pin. So go ahead and push that firing pin in. And it's a little easier than other models, so all you do is push down that firing pin past this point, past that point, and then this piece will slide out. So not sure if I'm going to be able to get that on camera because it's such a long slide, but as you can see, hopefully it slid out. It's going to be, whoops, sorry, there goes my punch, but it's going to give you enough room to take this piece out. And that firing pin is going to be under pressure, so just be prepared to catch that once you remove that. That'll be your firing pin and your firing pin spring. And again, something I don't need to be doing on this gun because I don't have ejection issues, but if you should so choose to remove your ejector, replace the springs, you take your 1/16 punch. Oops, that's not it, but take your 1/16 punch and knock that pin down, come out the other end here, and you'll have this ejector under pressure with spring, and those will come flying out at you. But again, I don't have any problems with this ejector yet, even though they do include one in the box, so I'm assuming I eventually will, but don't have it as of yet. And that's it, guys. Either way, that's your CZ75 Tactical Sport disassembly. Again, any questions, feel free to go ahead and ask me, and have fun taking that apart. It's a lot easier than other guns, but should help a lot if you're going to be modifying this firearm, as I am going to be doing in a upcoming video. Thanks for tuning in, guys.